Your doctor wants to put you on statin for high cholesterol. Before you fill that prescription at Costco pharmacy, I want you to see this first because food is powerful and most people have no idea what's available that can move those numbers without a single pill. 10 Costco products that lower your cholesterol. Let's go. Welcome back. I'm Claudia, holistic nutritionist and hormone coach. And if you are new here, this channel is all about using real food to support your health in your 40s and 50s. So your doctor flagged your cholesterol. Maybe they mentioned statins. And before you go down that road, I want people to exhaust the food piece first because it's working. And most people genuinely haven't tried it. Today, I'm breaking down 10 products from Costco available right now that are backed by real clinical research to help lower LDL cholesterol naturally. I will tell you the science, why it matters specifically in midlife, and one fast way to actually use each one. Let's get into it. Okay, so starting with the most common one. These are the oats, but not just any oats, sprouted oats. And that distinction really matters. Oats contain a specific type of soluble fiber called beta-glucan that forms a gel in your gut, physically binding to cholesterol and taking it out before it can be absorbed. Studies consistently show that 3 grams of beta-glucan a day, that's one solid serving, can lower LDL cholesterol by 5 to 10%. Sprouting breaks down the phytic acid, an anti-nutrient that block mineral absorption. You get more bioavailable iron, magnesium, and zinc from the same bowl. 1 Degree is the brand that you find at Costco, and it's fully traceable. Every ingredient is linked to the farm it came from. Cook a big batch on Sunday, portion it into jars, and you can reuse it your entire week. Top it with walnuts and blueberries, and you've stuck 3 cholesterol-lowering food before 8 a.m. To make oats actually taste better, you can toast and dry in a pan for 2-3 minutes before adding the liquid. It brings out a nutty, almost caramel depth you don't get in any other way. Cook it in half water, half egg whites, or you can do half your favorite nut milk. There are endless possibilities. Finish with a pinch of cardamom, sliced pear, a drizzle of raw honey, and crushed walnuts. This is not a sad bowl of oats. That's a breakfast worth waking up for. And it's a great replacement for the very common overnight oats, which they have their own star, but I just wanted to offer you another option. The second product is the wild Alaskan sockeye salmon. You buy it frozen and it's individually wrapped. Being wild is very important. Wild sockeye has significantly higher omega-3 content than farm Atlantic salmon. The big pack has individual vacuum-sealed portion. It's very convenient to use because it goes from your freezer directly into your oven. You have zero excuse not to heat your 2 servings of fish every week. Omega-3 fatty acids and EPA and DHA specifically lower triglyceride, reduce inflammation, and raise HDL, which is your protective cholesterol. The American Heart Association recommends fatty fish twice a week for cardiovascular health. This is the most affordable way you can do that consistently. Here is some idea how to prepare. You can use some miso paste, a drizzle of sesame oil, and you can bake the fish for 12 minutes at 400 degrees Fahrenheit and serve it with wild rice and steamed broccoli. Dinner done in 20 minutes and honestly tastes like you ordered it at a restaurant. The trick with frozen salmon is not to throw it first. What I recommend is take it out from the package and run it under cold water for a few seconds just to remove the ice glaze on the fish. You pat it dry and then you can put it directly into a hot oven or a pan. Thawing it first make it release too much water and you lose that gorgeous sear. For a pan sear, heat a cast iron over high heat, add some avocado oil, and you put the fish side down and cook for 4 minutes. Don't touch it. Flip it over, cook for 2-3 more minutes, and you are done. Squeeze some lemon, add some fresh dills, flaky salt, and you have a restaurant quality in your kitchen. The next item is the unsalted mixed nuts. I have this in my pantry all the time. A meta-analysis of 61 clinical trials found that eating about 56 grams of nuts a day, that's a small handful, significantly reduce the total cholesterol and LDL. Now, nuts are packed with monosaturated fat, plant sterols, and fibers. The nuts in this mix are especially good because the mixture gives you exposure at the highest omega-3 in the nuts category. You have to be careful to get the unsalted one. The salted version cancels all the cardiovascular benefit. Read the label before you grab it and ensure you get the unsalted one. Pair it with an apple for a great afternoon snack. Or you can crush some of them on your grain bowl for crunchiness and healthy fat without you making, any particular meal preparation. But be careful, stop eating nuts straight from the bag because portion control is really important here. And a trick to make them more flavorful, toast them for 8 minutes at 325 degrees Fahrenheit. Toasting them will enhance the flavor. Once toasted, drizzle with a little bit of olive oil, some smoked paprika, rosemary, and a pinch of sea salt while they are still warm. Let them cool and store in a jar. Now you have an elevated snack that tastes intentional and you will actually look forward to eating them. The next item I have on my list is the organic chia seeds, that big bag you get from Costco. Chia seeds gives you 2 separate cholesterol lowering mechanisms in one food. It's soluble fiber that binds bile acids in your guts and the LAA, omega-3 fatty acids. 3 tablespoons gives you about 10 grams of fiber. For context, most ladies are getting less than half their recommended daily fiber intake. Multiple studies have shown regular chia seed consumption reduce LDL and also help stabilize blood sugar, which matters because blood sugar spikes are directly tied to triglyceride levels. 3 tablespoons mixed with a cup of coconut milk, add a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of cacao powder, stir and refrigerate overnight. You have a chia pudding in 90 seconds of work the night before, and breakfast is sorted out. The secret with chia seeds is that it actually has a good texture if the ratio is right and you stir it multiple times. Usually 3 tablespoons of chia seeds in 1 cup of liquid is the perfect ratio. So you mix, you wait for 10 minutes and then you stir again before you put that in your fridge. The second stir breaks up the clumps that forms in the first set. So for a smooth chia pudding, that's a must. And here is some elevated version you can try. So you can layer it in a glass with mango cubes at the bottom. You can add the chia pudding in the middle and you sprinkle with some toasted coconut and few pomegranate seeds on top. It looks like something from a cafe and takes few minutes to make. The next item is the extra virgin olive oil. This isn't just a good cooking oil. It's one of the most studied food in all the cardiovascular nutrition. Extra virgin olive oil is rich in polyphenols, oleocanthal, and oleuropein with real anti-inflammatory activities, plus oleic acid, a monosaturated fat that lowers LDL while leaving HDL untouched. The PREDIMED trial, one of the largest nutrition studies ever, found a Mediterranean diet with extra virgin olive oil cut major cardiovascular events by about 30%. The most important word in here is the extra virgin. Refined or light olive oil has the polyphenols removed. You want the real deal. Kirkland extra virgin olive oil is consistently tested as authentic. You can use it as your default cooking fat and you can drizzle it raw over finished dishes. That's when actually you get the most polyphenol benefits. Here is what most people get wrong with olive oil. They heat it too much. Extra virgin olive oil has a lower smoke point. It's great for sauteing, for roasting at medium heat, as finishing. It's not for high heat searing. For that, I always use avocado oil. But where extra virgin olive oil really shines is as a finisher. You can drizzle over roasted vegetables, over a warm bowl of soup, straight onto grilled fish with lemon and fresh herbs, or you can serve your ice cream with a quality tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil on top, like your Italian grandma used to do. The next item I have on my list is the guacamole. Okay, so I know this one surprised people, but stay with me. So check the ingredients because there are many guacamole available. So look for avocado, tomatoes, onion, cilantro, jalapenos, lime juice, sea salt, garlic, all real stuff. Avocados are one of the richest food sources of beta-cytosterol, a plant sterol that literally competes with cholesterol for absorption in your gut. A 2015 study in the Journal of the American Heart Association found that eating one avocado a day significantly reduced LDL compared to a similar diet without the avocados, considering that there is monosaturated fat and potassium from the avocados as well. A spoonful added on your grain bowl or on top of your egg instead of reaching for sauces or dressing. That's healthy fat and fiber added in a very simple way. So guacamole oxidizes very fast. So you know that brown layer on top of the guacamole? To slow that down, take a plastic wrap and press it on the surface of your guac container before you put the lid on. Make sure there is no air gap so you don't get any surprises. And you can also squeeze a thin layer of lime juice on top as well. And if you want to elevate it beyond the container guacamole, fold in some finely diced mango, a little fine minced shallot, and toasted pumpkin seeds. You just turn a Costco guacamole into something that belongs on a restaurant table. The next item I have on my list is the golden flaxseed. Flaxseed is one of the most underrated, most affordable cholesterol-reducing tool available, and most people walk right past it. Ground flaxseed contains two things that lower cholesterol: lignin, which are plant compounds that interrupt cholesterol absorption, and soluble fibers that bind bile acid. A meta-analysis in Nutrition Reviews found whole flaxseed consumption reduced LDL by about 10 milligrams per deciliter. The ALA omega-3 content adds a third layer on top of that. It must be milled or ground to absorb properly. Otherwise, the whole flaxseed just passes through undigested. Canmar is already milled. Just make sure you store it in the fridge after opening because flaxseed oxidizes fast. You can mix 1 tablespoon into your oatmeal, your smoothie, your yogurt. You don't even taste it. And it's quietly doing the job every day. Now, flaxseed is also a surprisingly good egg replacement in baking. 1 tablespoon of ground flax mixed with 3 tablespoons of water. Let it sit for 5 minutes. That becomes a gel that binds exactly like an egg. You can use it in muffins, in energy bowl, or pancakes. It adds no flavor, and you genuinely cannot tell the difference. Also works beautiful as a coating, so mix it with almond flours and press onto chicken or fish before baking for a crisp nut crust that adds nutrition without making things too complicated. It's similar with how you are making a schnitzel out of your chicken breast. The next item I have on my list is organic quinoa. Quinoa tends to get used as a side dish and then forgotten about. Quinoa has significantly more fiber than white rice or pasta, about 5 grams per cooked cup. And it contains plant sterols and saponins that have shown modest LDL lowering effects in research. What I also love about it is that it doesn't spike blood sugar like the way refined grains do. Elevated blood sugar drives up triglycerides, and high triglycerides are separate cardiovascular risk factor your doctor is watching alongside the LDL. Cook a big batch in bone broth for additional flavor instead of water. Add more flavor and more collagen, and use it as your base all week. Grain bowls, salad, and the proteins. It's very, very easy to use. You can also freeze in those frozen Lego cubes, and you can use it when you need it. If you keep it in the fridge, it stays perfect for 5 days. Most people end up with mushy quinoa because they skip one step, rinsing. Quinoa has a natural coat called saponin that tastes bitter and slightly soapy if you don't wash it off. Rinse it in a fine mesh strainer under cold water for 30 seconds. Then toast it dry in a pot for 2 minutes before adding your liquid. The toasting step gives it a slightly nutty flavor and keep the grains separate so you don't get those clumps. The ratio is 1 cup of quinoa and 175 cup of liquid. Pull it off the heat and let it steam cover for 5 minutes. Then fluff it with a fork and it's perfect every time. The next item is the hemp hearts. Hemp hearts are one of the most complete plant food you can add to your plate for heart health. And honestly, most people walk right past them. Hemp hearts have an almost ideal ratio of omega-6 to omega-3 fatty acids, close to 3:1, which is what research believes is optimal for reducing chronic inflammation. They also contain GLA, a fatty acid with direct anti-inflammatory effect. 3 tablespoons give you 10 grams of complete plant protein. 3 tablespoons on your morning oats, or you can add them to your smoothie. Add just a mild nutty flavor. It's nothing overpowering, barely noticeable. Just add them every day and let them do their thing. Hemp hearts blend almost invisibly into sauces and dressings, and this is where they get interesting. Try this. Blend 3 tablespoons of hemp hearts with lemon juice, garlic, fresh herbs, and a little bit of water until you get a creamy, protein-rich dressing with no dairy and no oils. This texture is similar to a light tahini sauce. You can put it over roasted vegetables, use it as a dip, or make it runnier and drizzle over a grain bowl. So nobody will know what's in it, but they will ask for the recipe. And the last item I have on my list is the canned wild Pacific salmon. Okay, I know, canned salmon, it doesn't sound interesting. But bear with me for a second. This is one of the most practical, most affordable, most nutritionally dense food you can get at Costco. And it gets completely overlooked because of how it's presented on the shelf, right? So same omega-3 profile as fresh salmon, EPA and DHA stays completely intact, and wild Pacific salmon has consistently higher omega-3 content than farm Atlantic salmon. Harvard research shows regularly fish consumption is associated with up to 36% lower risk of death from heart diseases. Canned salmon still has the bones in it, which means you are getting significant calcium, which is critical for bone density in midlife. But read the label. You want the wild, packed in water, and low sodium variety. You can mix it with avocado, lemon, capers, and a little bit of Dijon mustard. Serve it on cucumber rounds or seed crackers. This is an elevated lunch done in literally 4 minutes. I make this several times a week. The move with the canned salmon is to drain it well. Then let it sit on a paper towel for a minute so any extra moisture is removed, and then it not taste as canned. From there, it behaves like any cooked fish. You can make these salmon cakes. Mix the canned salmon with an egg, almond flour, Dijon, chopped like dills, lemon zest, garlic, some diced shallot. You can make some small patties. Sear them in avocado oils for 3 minutes per side until golden, and you can serve it with some Greek yogurt or some cucumber salad. So that is a dinner that looks like effortless and costs almost nothing. Okay, that's your top 10 foods that lower cholesterol. So let's recap quick. Sprouted oats, wild frozen sockeye salmon, unsalted mixed nuts, chia seeds, extra virgin olive oil, guacamole, ground flax seeds, quinoa, hemp hearts, canned wild salmon. So every single one is available at your Costco right now. So go and grab them. And none of them require you to overhaul your entire life. You're just making smarter swap with what's already in your cart. As you see, these are normal foods, so I don't ask you to overhaul your entire life. So just to make small, smarter swaps what you already have in your cart. If you want to turn these products into meals, head over to my website, claudiaholisticliving.com. I have chef-inspired recipes to make your fat loss journey feeling like $1,000,000, not a burden. If you find this video helpful, hit like and subscribe. I post weekly Costco haul, clean eating breakdowns, and elevated recipes, so you don't have to choose between eating well and eating food you love. So drop a comment. Let me know below which one of these you already have in your cart. Okay, if you want to learn more about my favorite Costco product, check out this video here. Keep it simple, keep it real, and I will see you in the next video. Ciao!